There are some who have mental retardation.
You have a vision, a pictorial, fact of your purpose, and then you are working it, you are growing into it. That's the only time that you can bring someone into your life to identify.
Every male man must first come into the picture of their identity. Who am I?
Hi there, welcome to Dove Eyes with Chinwe Kalu. It's great to be here once again. I always say it's a highlight for me to be here presenting the show, and I'm very glad to be here. I'm also glad that you're out there watching and listening, and I'm hoping that today we have another exciting episode where we talk about something that impacts the family. Remember that our watchwords are building strong families, helping the family to get stronger and stronger, where every member of the family thrives. And so today we're going to be looking at the woman loving herself, self-love for the woman. I'm hoping that all the women out there will, get some kind of motivation to love themselves a little more as, they live their lives and play the different roles that they play. Mothers, sisters, grandmothers, aunties, whatever, daughters, etc., etc. In all our roles, we also must look out for ourselves. If we don't, we're going to burn out and we're not going to be able to be who we're supposed to be to the people around us. And so today we're going to talk about self-love. I'm sure we're going to have a great time. Don't go away. Just stay with us. So what is self-love really all about? Self-love is simply putting yourself on the front burner, just like you do with everything else. I know your husband is very important. Your children are very important. Your work is very important. The things you do are all very important. The people you have to be there for are all important, but so are you. And so you need to put yourself on the front burner and love yourselves. Otherwise, you won't be able to love these other people and be to all these other people who you should be to them. And so it's important and critical that as a woman who plays a lot of roles in so many other people's lives, you love yourself, you self-love. Now, does self-love mean being selfish, not caring anymore, and not being there for the people that you are normally there for? No, that's not what we're saying. What we're just saying is you need to love yourself before you can love others. You can only give people what you have. You can't really give what you don't have. And you find a lot of women are burnt out, tired, irritable, and really not at their best, simply because there's just not enough attention paid to themselves by themselves. And so you find that they're not able to be who they're supposed to be to their families, especially to their families. And so we need women to understand I'm just as important as everybody else. And that's what self-love is about. It's not about being selfish. It's not about thinking of yourself and yourself alone. It's about putting enough value on yourself and understanding that you matter just like everyone else. And so as you are thinking of them and placing them high on your priority list, put yourself on that priority list as well. It is extremely important for you to fulfill destiny in being able to be who you are supposed to be to the people around you. So self-love is not selfishness. It's just appreciating who you are and putting value on yourself. All right. So what are the rules? How do you begin to even, approach this, in terms of, loving yourself? The first thing, and I always say that because the God factor is really critical to being successful at anything, is that you must put God in the picture. You must find your identity in God. You must prioritize God in your life, especially if you're a woman of faith. I mean, it's like we all love God. Women are known to love God. Wherever there's a gathering of people people of God, the women are a majority all the time. So it's not that the love of God is not in question. However, if you love someone, there's that priority you must place on him. And in this case, it's even more critical because it's in him we find strength. It's in him we find the grace to be who we're supposed to be. So you must find time to prioritize God and put him first. So you can't say, I love God, and then at the end of the day, when you are tired and burnt out and don't have anything else to give, you now come to him. No. What we're saying is, to self-love, you must put him first. You must put him first. And that means finding time to be in prayer, finding time to be in the word, finding time to worship him, finding time to find and, bring expression to him such that he can also be who he is supposed to be to you. And that will be the first thing in loving yourself. You have to find that time to build up your identity in God. That's where you find strength. That's where you get grace. That's where you get understanding of how to deal with issues. So you need that time with God. So for me, minimum of an hour, I'd say, but I mean, it depends on what your schedule is like and what you can do. But start somewhere. Start somewhere. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. But find that time. Some people think, there's only one time in the day when I can be with God, and that's at midnight. That's not true. And that's what has held a lot of women back, because at midnight you're tired and sleepy. It can be in the middle of the day where you know that you will not have anybody disturbing you or distracting you, but find that time. And please keep your dates with Him. Make it a regular thing. Okay? Rule number 1, find your total identity in God and build that. Rule number 2 is that you need to stop seeing yourself as how you are packaged. All right. I always say that on the show, that I'm always the smallest person in any group I belong to. There are very few groups that you find somebody who's smaller than me. I'm usually the shortest, the smallest, the tiniest. However, I had to find myself despite that, because it didn't take anything out of what I could bring to the table in terms of the value I bring. So it doesn't matter whether you are fair, you are short, you are dark, you are tall, you are fat, you are slim. All that is packaging. It doesn't have anything to do with the value you bring. And so you cannot begin to identify yourself around those things that are, really not you. They're just a packaging. All right. So how you look, the trimmings you come with, those are not you. And so if they are good enough, fine. But if they are not, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't take any value out of who you are. You are specially made in God, and God loves you just as you are. And so I think you owe yourself the duty of loving yourself just as you are. Okay? So your packaging is one thing, and you, the inner you, is another thing. And you must place value and properly esteem your inner you, because that's the real you. That's where the value is. That's where God is. And that's where everything that you give comes from, not the packaging. So place real value on who you really are. Another thing I'd like to say is we need to find time for ourselves. And I'm not talking about God time, because God time is God's time. All right. The time you spend with God is not the time I'm talking about. Now I'm talking about the time you spend with yourself. Now do those leisure things that you plan to do, but you never get around to because you are too busy. All right. You want to just hang out in the mall. You want to, read a magazine. Some of us we subscribe to magazines that we never read. So we pile them high. They come all nicely wrapped in cellophane, but the cellophane is there. You get the one for January, the one for February, March, April, May. They just keep piling up. And for years, you have not read them. I used to have that. I'll buy an Oprah. Every time I see Oprah, I would buy one, because I just love her line of thinking and the way she writes, and all the people that write in the magazine. However, I would have them, piles and piles of them, and I never go around to reading them. The most I would do is once in a long while, I would pick out one and just look at the pictures and look at the titles and smile, But find time for the things you like, those things that give you some pleasure, okay? Reading a magazine, reading fictional stories, just listening to music, just being in a gardening, taking long walks that are not because you want to lose weight, just taking a walk, and doing those things that you need to do, all right, that you love to do, that you never get time to do. They're not critical, important, they don't have titles. However, they're important to you, because the times you do those things, you're just taking, just by yourself, that time gives you the opportunity to think, reflect, ask yourself questions, even face your fears. I mean, that's the time you can come up with prayer points. You're not praying, but you understand that this situation needs me to pray about it. And then you can go back later in your God time now, pray. But you need that time for yourself. If you have, more interesting things would be going for a massage, getting pampered, do a manicure and a pedicure, just getting pampering yourself. All right. One of the things I think of as pampering myself is going to eat salad at a nice joint, but just do the things you love to do. Okay. Like I said, they're not critical. If you don't do them, nothing will spoil and nobody will die. However, they add value to the person that you are, and you need to take those times and do what you need to do. In finding time for yourself, ensure that you schedule it. If you don't schedule it, it will never happen. Move it away from your wish list and put it on your to-do list and ensure that it happens. Put yourself on the front burner. In thinking about loving yourself, also, another thing you need to understand is that you cannot satisfy everybody. So don't worry too much about what people think or say about you. You need to worry about what God thinks about you. Yeah. So you must give off a godly fragrance. You're not just a child of God, you're also a woman. And I think that the onus falls on us as women to constantly give off a fragrance of who we carry on the inside. And so that matters. However, to the extent that you feel that you are fine with Him, then please don't worry about what people think. Just do what you think you should do at every point in time and just keep going. If you find people to go along with you, the better. However, you will never at any point in time satisfy everybody. So you have to believe in what you're doing enough to just keep going and not allow the voices and the sounds to distract you. Okay, so do what you think you need to do and don't think about what people are saying or thinking. Self-love can be a bit difficult, especially when there are toxic people in your space. We tend to, as women, we make excuses, especially if they are loved ones and family members. All right, but I was talking with my daughter the other day and she said to me, I didn't choose my family members. I thought that was very mean. But, I thought about it again and I thought, yes, nobody chooses their family members. So if you have a toxic one, you owe it to yourself to minimize contact with them and allowing them into your space to continue to put that pressure, dump themselves on you. You need to avoid people dumping toxicity on you. And so anybody in your space who is toxic and is not bringing value, not in the sense that you are making money or anything of him, but in the sense that the person is enabling your wholeness and the wholeness of your loved ones, other people around you, then you need to keep that person out of your space. You need to respect yourself enough, love yourself enough to take that person out of your space. And it doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter how close you are or how long you've known them or how much of a family member they are. You need to be able to recognize toxicity and say no to it. You owe yourself that. That is self-love. And you need to, be hard enough to do it. Be strong enough in your heart to do it because that's the only way that you can find wholeness. This person or these people keep coming into your space. And anytime they come, they dump. They don't add. They just dump stuff on you that makes you feel less good about yourself, makes you feel pressured, makes you feel, unloved, makes you feel inadequate. Those are people who are cancerous people and you don't need them in your space. What you need to do is cut them off, okay? And have the guts to do it because you're loving yourself. Now, a lot of the time when opportunity, shows up for women, we add, we think, we do all kinds of things, and at the end of the day, we lose those opportunities. But in loving yourself, one of the things we must do at this time is to take the opportunities or even create them if we have to. But take your opportunities. Don't keep making excuses because of other people, because of all the people that you love, that you feel you have to. Take your opportunities and then create structures that will take care of the things that you were worrying about in the first place. However, take those opportunities, make the best of them. And, because, opportunities come and they go. Somebody will talk to us about seasons, how that even in a good season, in rainy season, it doesn't rain every day. When we're in winter, does it snow every day? No. When it's rainy season, does it rain every day? No. However, the days that the rain come that's the only time you can collect water. So you need to be able to, identify opportunities, think about them, and take them. Don't keep letting them slip by. Take them, make the best of them, and, bring more value to yourself as much as you can by taking these opportunities. Women, we tend to slack in taking those opportunities. Let's take them. As believing women, let's understand that opportunities are doors that God has opened for us. Let's take them. And let's stop feeling guilty about all the other things, because those other things will be taken care of as we walk. You know how it is. It's like that door that opens as you come closer to it. The opportunities that come, if we think about all the challenges around them, we will never do them. We will never take them. However, as we take them on, you find out that whatever it is that is a problem begins to give way as you keep going. But you must keep going and you must take those opportunities because they won't come again. And you have denied yourself of something that will add value to you and make you richer and a better person. So take your opportunities, take them. And if you don't have them, create them if you can. Another thing is that as women, we tend to, we tend to take back seats a lot of the time. I know that there are many more women who are called what you call boss ladies in these times, okay? And I appreciate them. But I know that there are many more of us who tend to take the back seat behind other people. When there's opportunity to speak, you are quiet, especially in the workplace. You are quiet. You don't, just speak when absolutely necessary. You don't say a word. You have thoughts. You don't express them. You have opinions. You don't bring them to the table because you just don't want to speak up and have everybody looking at you and listening to you. However, as a woman who has God on the inside of her, you have so much to bring to the table. And in every conversation, you should have something to say. Okay? The world is not going to give you the opportunity to speak up and bring yourself to the table. You have to take them, like I said earlier. And one of the things that we need to do is speak up boldly. Let's speak up boldly. In the workplace, speak up boldly. In family meetings, speak up boldly. Where it matters, speak up. Speak up. Don't wait for permission to take a seat at the table. No. If you are there, join the conversation. Contribute your thoughts. Take action. Do what you need to do. Know that your voice counts. Look, as women, we have certain abilities that everybody else doesn't have. Men don't have, because they're only men and women anyway. Okay? We have intuition. We have those thoughts that, just hit us and you're like, where did that come from? That thought matters. Don't keep it to yourself. Express it. Bring it to the table. Because that's what will make the difference in the situations that you find yourself in. So always speak up. If you have something to say, you're at any table, especially a business table, speak up. If you're in a meeting and you have something to say it. Don't keep it to yourself. Say it. Speak up. Bring yourself to the table and make your voice count. We must choose to challenge some of these things that we allow as happen to us. And at the end of the day, we feel we're not even satisfied. We tend to feel that we've been conditioned to feel that this is the way to be. But at the end of the day, look at your self-satisfaction. Look at how you feel about yourself. Do you feel you lived your best life? Giving up all the things, giving up all the things I've talked about in earlier on. You need to understand that these things matter. And if we can just choose to challenge the status quo and go for them, our lives will be much richer. And then we can bring so much more to our family tables because of the richness of the lives that we have. So it's important that you see this issue of self-love and look at it critically and choose to challenge the status quo. Okay? Now, another thing that we need to do is detox ourselves on a daily basis. Life throws so much at us. Life throws so much at us all the time. So there's unforgiveness, there's anger, there's bitterness, there's faithlessness, there's hopelessness, there's just that feeling of, nothing is going the way I want. Every evening when you come back, just before you sleep, take time to detox. It's like taking a spiritual bath. And I don't know whether you want to call it praying, but yeah, you can pray. However, the idea is, Lord, today, this person offended me, I let him go. That person irritated me, I let her go. This thing didn't work out the way I wanted. Lord, I leave it in your care. Detox on a regular basis. You know what that will do for you? First, you sleep better and then you wake up stronger and healthier. But at the end of the day, you are burden-free. You are burden-free. Women, because we're emotional, we tend to pick things and we tend to hold on to stuff. We need to let stuff go. And that's what I mean by detoxing. And as you detox yourself, you find out that you wake up in the morning and you feel better, you can still smile. The person annoyed you yesterday, but today you can look at him and not even remember, or her, and not even remember what happened yesterday. That is the only way we can walk in the love that God has given us for our family members. Husbands, children, they have all kinds of things that they throw at us. However, when you've detoxed, the next morning, you are enabled again to take on life and take it on to the full. So detox yourself every night before you sleep. Tell yourself all those things that have upset you today, all those things that have made you feel small, all those things that have made you feel that mistake you made, let yourself go. That thing you think you shouldn't have done, but you did it anyway, let it go. And just clean yourself out. And we have the blood of Jesus, that helps. Just clean yourself out and then go to sleep. You wake up the next morning ready for another day. And you are ready in a good ready, not just ready because you woke up, but ready because you are strong, you are clean, you are graced. And you have all that you need to get into that day. Okay? So, finally, I think my final point in self-loving is to take care of your body. We've talked about the inner part. And the inner part is so important because it's really where the Bible talks about, out of your heart flows the issues of life. So, your heart really matters. And all the things we talked about before now are things that have to do with the inside. How you have to build yourself up. And in all this, what happens? You build your confidence, you build your self-awareness, you build your self-esteem, you are more humble because you begin to understand certain things when you do these things, and you're a better person for it. And so you bring a better you to your family table. Your children love being with you, your husband loves being with you, and like that virtuous woman, they tell you, you are the best of them all. Why? Because you're actually bringing a good self to the table. So last and not the least, I will say that you should take care of your body. Take care of your physical body. We don't have the time. We're very busy. We're running from pillar to post. We're doing all kinds of things. During the week, we work. We look after our children. At the weekend, we're looking after extended family and running around parties, weddings. Doing all those things that we do. Our bodies, is what gives us the right to stay on this earth. If you don't have a body, you can't function here. And so you need to take care of your body. So whatever you need to do, exercise, eating right, sleeping well, getting enough rest, and all that, do them so that your body can be whole. And when your body is whole, and your spirit is whole, your soul is whole, then of course you bring a really, 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 really vibrant woman to the table. And that's what we all want. That's what we want to be. That's who we want to be. That's how we want to be. But that's not how we are. And yet, I read a book once that said, check out all the things you do in a day and compare them to the things you want to accomplish as an individual. You'll find that a lot of time, the things you want to accomplish and the things you do are not in sync. They're not aligned. And so we're doing a lot of things, but we're not the person that we want to be. We're not creating the environment we want to create. We're not creating the families we want to create because we're just not there. Okay? So I'm thinking that self-love is so important to us right now. And even Jesus himself said, love your neighbor as what you love yourself. You can't give what you don't have. And so at this time, ladies, I just want to encourage you. Wherever, it doesn't matter whether you're married or not. It doesn't matter what status you hold. You're married, you're single. You always have a community that you are interacting with. And it is wise and the best thing for you to bring your best self to that community. If it's a family, great. If it's your father, your parents, and your siblings, great. If it's, a work family, fine. If it's whatever community it is, bring your best self to the table. And it's a self-loved self that is your best self. Okay? And so at this point, I'm sure that you are thinking about what I've said and that the things that I'm saying make sense. Okay? So let's start. Don't wait till next week. Start right away. Tell yourself, I'm going to start right away. So this evening, for instance, when you're going to bed, try detox yourself. All right? And then tomorrow morning, start your day with God. 10, 15 minutes if that's all you have. But 1 hour will just be ideal. And let's take it from there and see how life turns out. Okay? So it's been great being here today. I'm hoping that we've made sense and what we've shared with you is blessing you or has blessed you and will make a difference in your life. Remember that the conversation continues on all our social media platforms, and on YouTube, where otherwise with Chinwekalu. You need to subscribe to the channel if you're watching us right now, or you're listening to us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, otherwise with Chinwekalu. On Instagram, we're otherwise with Chinwe. On Facebook, we're otherwise with Chinwekalu. On Twitter, we're otherwise with Chinwekalu. Join our conversations, make your own contributions, bring your voice to the table, and let's, just try to strengthen the family. Remember that in Christ, everything is fine. Everything becomes fine. Am I saying that you won't have challenges? No. But with Jesus on your side, you will be better. Life will be better for you. And so if you don't have him, this is also a good time for you to say, come in. All right? If you're calling him, just ask him to come and he'll come. Okay, so we've done our talk on self-love, and I'm trusting that you are all going to be self-loving at this time. So I'll see you again same time next week. Be good, self-love, and please choose to challenge the status quo. Bye-bye.